Greetings, everybody, from Centerville Bank Stadium in beautiful Pawtucket, Rhode Island. It's the USL Championship today, presented by Santoro Oil, official partner of RIFC. It's Rhode Island and Detroit City in the championship today. Sean St. Jacques, Ryan Davis, our entire crew. Great to have you with us. Ryan, Rhode Island are still in search of their first league win of the regular season. Last time they were at home in the league, it was a 1-1 draw against Jacksonville. Since then, they've dropped points a few times.
And they've sort of lost their DNA. This time they're trying to come forward, get more shots, create more chances. However, they've conceded so much in that time. I think they've lost their way a little bit, Sean, in the first couple of games.
Look at player to watch for Rhode Island. Leo Afonso has come into Rhode Island and certainly has been involved in a lot of the chance creation. The next step will be scoring goals.
He can pull out wide and create for other players, or he can stretch the field if they play the ball ahead of him. He's one of those dynamic forwards that this team so desperately needs. I think he gets one to go in, the whole game is going to change for the rest of the season.
Well, certainly Rhode Island riding high after the Derby win in the Open Cup. And Detroit won in the Open Cup earlier this week as well. And in the league, they've been pretty strong, including a win over Charleston.
When you have a talisman like Smith getting the ball in the back of the net, that affects the rest of the team. Everybody starts to get confidence, and they start to believe if we get the ball to the final third, we can execute and find the final product. Smith is the guy executing at the moment.
Yeah, speaking of Darren Smith, he is our player to watch for Les Rouges. The reason is because he's the current leader in the Golden Boot chase, even in these early weeks of the season.
And he can score with the ball coming over the top or the service from the sides. He's that sort of dynamic player. But oh, by the way, when he doesn't have the ball, willing to press and do the dirty work.
Yeah, Rhode Island are going to have to keep a close eye on him if they are to leave with all 3 points tonight. Rhode Island desperate to get their first USL Championship win on the board here in 2026. Can Detroit keep their really strong form and bring it on the road in the USL Championship this afternoon? We have the kickoff coming up from Pawtucket after the break.
Hi, welcome. How can I help you? Sure, I can help you with that. How would you like to make the deposit today? Cash or check? Thank you for visiting Centerville Bank. Have a great day.
You may think the nicest moments happen once you've arrived at your destination. At Breeze, we think they happen all along the way.
Yeah, let me grab that for you.
That was so nice.
Whether you're kicking back in Breeze Ascent or just enjoying time together in family seating, we take creating nice moments seriously, so you're ready for the rest of the journey ahead. When it's all over, the nicest moment might just be planning your next trip. Breeze. Seriously nice.
At Ortho Rhode Island, we've built the future of orthopedic care around an important foundation, you. Our experienced surgeons and specialists offer the full spectrum of orthopedic care with leading-edge treatments and technology and a one-of-a-kind patient experience. From diagnosis to outpatient surgery, physical and occupational therapy, acute injury care, and advanced imaging, we make you the cornerstone of innovative care. To learn more or schedule an appointment, visit orthopedicsri.com.
It doesn't matter what you ride to work as long as you leave your car behind. May is Bike to Work Month, and it's more rewarding than ever thanks to the Drive Less RI app. Whether you're pedaling to the office or cruising to class, earn rewards by logging your green trips. Download the Drive Less RI app today, or visit drivelessri.com to get started. And be on the lookout for our celebration stations in May. For more info, visit ripta.com/bike-to-work.
Welcome back, everybody. Sean St. Jacques, Ryan Davis, our entire crew, happy to have you with us. Countdown to kickoff between Rhode Island and Detroit City in the USL Championship today. Starting lineups look like this. We start with Cano Smith and Rhode Island in search of their first regular season victory.
And Stoneman is back in the lineup next to Joe. That's a huge defensive backup. Darcy is back in the lineup as well. He has those passes from the back that splits lines. It gets Quizera, who's back in action, by the way, in the lineup on the left. And Holstad, that two-way midfielder who we adore. We're going to talk more about him in the broadcast.
No question about that. After the good Open Cup win for Rhode Island, Detroit were successful in the Open Cup as well. Danny Dicchio lines them up like this for the Rouge.
Yeah, and Montgomery, Amu Mensah, talk about passes out to the back. Amu Mensah is just splendid. He's a leader, number 30. Yamazaki, the workhorse on the right-hand side. Should be a great matchup with Rodriguez in this match. And Cedeno has to get more goals. Got 4 goals last year. They need his support to get 5, 6, 7 goals this season to really be a factor coming down the end.
Both teams had to navigate through rivalry grudge matches in the Open Cup midweek. Detroit beating Flint City Bucks away by 1-0. Rhode Island, of course, would love nothing more than to take the momentum from a win over Hartford into today's action as well. A little bit of an interruption, as we've seen through the first few weeks here in the championship. So that will be a little bit of an interruption at the start of the broadcast here in Rhode Island.
Got a chance to do that game on Wednesday right here in Rhode Island against Hartford. I said before the broadcast, if they get a win tonight, that will be the stand. The stand of Helms Deep, put it that way.
Yeah.
And that's when they make their stand and change their season around. Huge 2-0 win. It was not the prettiest, Sean, but a 2-0 victory nonetheless to get them back on track.
We were talking about this off the air. The fiercer the rivalry, the bigger the win, and the more momentum you can gain off the back of it. It felt like going into that Hartford Open Cup game, and Conno Smith and the players, you could feel by the lineup they put out there, it felt really important. They cashed it in for a massive victory. They hope that it carries in to another important game, gets an arguably tougher side at the moment in Detroit here, as we're finally off and running, but we'll see if that momentum can carry over. At times it doesn't, even after a really good win.
But you get the feeling that they were stopping the bleeding that night.
Yeah.
Let's get a strong lineup. Let's get behind the ball, do all the dirty work. They scored off of 2 set pieces, and they grinded out a victory against a fierce rival.
Altair Sanchez and J.J. Williams both on the board for Rhode Island, as they were able to knock Hartford out. And again, Detroit may have played an amateur side in Flint City Bucks, but that's an old rivalry that goes back almost a decade when Detroit wasn't in a league of higher note. At the time, they were an amateur side as well, when they really had a fierce rivalry with the Bucks. And of course, Flint City never forgets Detroit survived 1-0 in the Open Cup.
I love it. I love when the amateur teams come up with their pitchforks, and then Detroit has to travel to a ground where the water doesn't work. It's all cold and messy. We love that in the US Open Cup. That's the beauty and the nuance of it.
It's a Chick-fil-A Attleboro corner kick. If Rhode Island scores, you can go to your Chick-fil-A Attleboro location, get a free chicken sandwich. You mentioned it, Ryan. Rhode Island finally scored at home from a corner in the Open Cup.
That man, J.J. Williams, had a goal and an assist. It was not the best defending, but he made the most of it.
He's Pity Rodriguez for Rhode Island from the corner. It was put into a dangerous area. It's headed clear initially. Rodriguez back into the middle. Williams, was he pushed down here? No, Darcy! Follows up, but the offside flag goes up on the near side. Free kick, Detroit.
I understand why J.J. Williams is upset when the ball goes into the air. Look at his hip go forward right there. I mean, that is a rank push in the back coming from Diop. And I believe he got away with one. No VAR to talk about, so he gets away scot-free.
Look at keys to the game for both teams. They're brought to you by Flood Ford. We start with Rhode Island.
Yep, DNA. Going back to their old MO on Wednesday, getting behind the ball, 4-4-2, rough and tumble, sort of English style, old English style, and they crank out a victory against Hartford.
The second key is mostly about Darren Smith for Detroit.
And this is all your creativity, Sean, let's be honest. But Darren Smith is the best finisher right now in USL. We're not talking 2 weeks from now, but right now. But like you mentioned before the broadcast, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, Smith. Can he get enough goals towards the end?
It's partly a reference to the fact that Smith started out so well last season as well, and then dipped as the year went along. He's been incredibly clinical so far. He leads the league with 4 goals so far. Can he keep it up? is the question.
And here I was thinking it was a Michael Jordan Nike commercial. It's not how you start, how you finish. See, I learned something new every day.
That's a good callback right there.
It was great.
Look back at the 4 prior meetings between these two. It's been tight battle after tight battle. Rhode Island won the last meeting the beginning of August in 2025, a 1-0 victory. Ironically enough, Maxi Rodriguez was the match winner, scored a penalty for Cano Smith's men in order to get all 3 points, but Detroit leads the all-time series with 2 victories to Rhode Island's 1. And certainly Cano Smith and his coaching staff, these players will be incredibly hungry to take that Hartford win and turn it into 3 more points here, particularly at home, where they had a really good chance to beat Sporting Jacks. Ryan, we were on the call for that game. They let it slip late on despite having a man advantage. Jacksonville leaves with a point. Rhode Island really, really want to make sure they get all 3 today.
But I do understand that he wanted to make the brand of soccer to be easier on the eyes for the spectators. But sometimes when you leave your MO so quickly, you can lose your way. And I think that's what happened to Coach Smith and this Rhode Island team. They got back to that familiarity of how they got to the final last year. And now, maybe that's the time you stand up and say, this is who I am, this is who we are, and we're going to play this way.
That was a foul on Frank Nodarse on this near side. Atej Juve was stopped in his tracks here.
I really like Nodarse. First of all, he's versatile. His ability to pass from the back is so well. He actually had a goal line stop in this very goal on Wednesday against Hartford. It would have made it 2-1, and it would have been a mad scramble towards the end. He cleared that ball off the line. I don't know how, and his passing, and he's gritty as well. Great defender.
This is Silva. Silva played well in the Open Cup. That cross comes up short. Look at tonight's health report. The official orthopedic partner and team physicians of RIFC. Learn more at orthopedicsri.com. Really kind of examining the current situation for Rhode Island. Obviously, Hugo Bacharach was sent off against Miami, so he's not available due to suspension. Amos Shapiro-Thompson dealing with some knocks, and we were talking about this before the game. Zach Haribo, an incredibly talented player, but the injury bug has bit him yet again. He just can't seem to catch a break.
Rhode Island, you know how you guys celebrate Clay Hostad? Well, Zach Haribo is that same type of midfielder, what we call a two-way modern midfielder. Break up tackles in the middle of the park and then create chances with 1 or 2 passes to get the ball in the box. That's Haribo and Hostad wrapped up in a nutshell. And they really, really miss that type of... Who wouldn't miss that type of player in the midfield?
Played down this near side looking for Williams, and Williams commits a foul on Callum Montgomery. It's a Detroit free kick. Well, RIFC fans, grab yourself an ice-cold Pepsi Zero Sugar for the match. Zero never tasted so good. You have to try it to believe it. Pepsi Zero Sugar is a proud partner of RIFC.
Zero sugar, huh?
The fizzy drink, yeah.
I believe it.
The hustle from Quizera sees him nudged into the advertising boards here. There's actually a few Detroit City supporters down there. As you look at Danny Dicchio, he's done a wonderful job with this Detroit City outfit. There were some ups and downs with Detroit last season. It was well documented. They felt they should have finished higher in the standings. But what did they do? They certainly didn't get down on themselves. They went to Louisville and they pulled off one of the biggest upsets we've ever seen in the USL Championship. And they had Pittsburgh on the ropes in the round after that before falling on penalties.
I'm never going to feel sorry for Louisville, but they really do take everyone's best shot every weekend. And the fact that they stand up firm and win the Supporters' Shield every year, it just shows how good of an organization they are.
And they haven't skipped a beat, by the way. Simon Bird's done a wonderful job taking over for the departing Danny Cruz. Again, small sample size, but it feels like Blue City haven't skipped a beat. You mentioned it. Talk about taking everybody's best shot. Rhode Island went there and made it quite the battle, as they always do. Rhode Island have been one of Lou City's recent bogey teams.
It's almost like Rhode Island circlet. Yep, there's Louisville. Can't wait for that match.
And Louisville survived.
Yeah.
They outlasted them.
I think it's all that emotion that Rhode Island has, that underdog sort of spirit they feel when they go into Louisville.
It's going to be a foul and a free kick going the other way. J.C. Griggs is our referee. Actually refereed the Detroit City Open Cup match against Flint City Bucks as well.
This is a matchup we have to look at because Darcy is the master of the dark arts, and he's going to give you every little bit of push, tug, knee, and shove. You see, hand wrapped around him, pulls the off down, wins the free kick, goes the other way. He's that sort of defender you want on your team, but you hate to play against.
Well, proudly outfitting RIFC, Capelli Sport is your global game changer for premium kits, gear, and innovation on and off the field. Juve again, trying to maneuver his way forward. This time he's clipped by Grant Stoneman. Another Detroit City free kick.
You know, we talk Maxi Rodriguez, we got to talk Grant Stoneman. He's been Mr. Detroit since the Nisa days. Got a chance to see him since then. And boy, has he been a loyal defender for this Detroit organization.
It's going to be Ryan Williams and Kobe Hernandez-Foster standing over this. Well, we've asked Connor Smith multiple times about who are key pieces in your setup, and Grant Stoneman has come up more than once when talking about that Rhode Island defensive unit, and more importantly, the leadership group behind the scenes that Connor Smith kind of lets police themselves, things of that nature. Grant Stoneman is one of the first names in that group as well. And you mentioned it, has been incredibly valuable in Rhode Island's first few seasons as a club.
You know, coaches can't be everywhere, but someone like Grant Stoneman, he fills those pockets.
Silva's ball in. Oh, it's touched down by Vegas, not definitively whatsoever. Detroit didn't react quickly enough, and now Rhode Island could break here. Holstead plays it out wide. Alfonso looking for a moment here to shoot. And it goes over the top. Both teams coming close at either end.
Well, Silva, I want to say this, you meant this on purpose, but you didn't. You didn't get around the ball enough. You spliced it, and it troubles Koke Vegas. I don't know if he lost it in the sun or what. It was a late reaction. But then Clay Holstad, the two-way midfielder, sets up Alfonso on the counter-attack. A little bit wasteful, not much angle to work with, but Holstad, the man, bringing the ball out of the back, creating defense into attack.
Need to say a word, by the way, about Hamidi Diop defensively there for Rhode Island. He hooks that clear after Koke Vegas didn't get enough on it. Saves Rhode Island and nearly led them on the break the other end, with Holstead leading the charge.
Now, the last thing you want is a player like Williams to go down. Talk about a distributor, someone who sets the tone for this Detroit team, brings the ball out of the back.
Well, and J.J. Williams picks up a yellow card for his involvement in that challenge.
Let's not forget J.J. Williams, the red card 2 weeks ago in Louisville. He's that sort of emotional leader, Sean. They rely on him to have that sort of challenges. They rely on him to have that sort of vigor up top.
That certainly was a bit of a striker's challenge there from J.J. Williams. Didn't get it right. But here comes Rodriguez for Rhode Island. Leo Alfonso. And it's forced to be a full reset to Diop. Let's talk about stability at the back for Rhode Island. Karifa Yao playing that into Frank Nodarce. Karifa Yao's been another incredibly important piece to the Rhode Island puzzle over the years. It's played square for Frank Nodarce. Jojea Quizera. Quizera like a hot knife through butter there for Holstead. Rodriguez tried to shoot. It falls for Williams, who tried to lay it off for Holstead, touched away.
Really happy to see Quizera back on the right-hand side. He's a loyal left-sided player for Coach Smith. He tried him out in Louisville 2 weeks ago. Quizera scored a worldie.
Rodriguez shoots, blocked, tries again, over the top. Holstead played it beautifully into his path. I think it might have been off an unfortunate ricochet from a Detroit point of view. 2 bites at it for Rodriguez. He cannot score.
Well, when will the little man from Lanús break the duck? Couldn't get over it. He just sort of snatched it at the end. But he has the quality, he has the creativity to not only create chances for others, but create goals for himself. Didn't convert there, but you get a snippet of Pity Rodriguez.
Getting to the game is easy with RIPTA's free game day bus service. Buses loop every 8 to 10 minutes between the Pawtucket Central Falls Transit Center, Centerville Bank Stadium, and the stadium's reserved parking lots. Go to ripta.com/RIFC for a full list of stops. J.C. Griggs has another word here for J.J. Williams. There's been moments this season where Rhode Island have had to worry a little bit about the discipline of some of the players talking to the referee. J.J. Williams in no position there on a yellow card. Could have easily put himself in danger of picking up a second.
You know, we just talked about Grant Stoneman stepping into midfield, Sean. He has that ability to leave his centre-back, come into midfield to help out the centre midfield, win balls and distribute. That's why he's such an important piece to the puzzle. Of course, as soon as he steps in, Dars will then partner up Chow at the back.
Darce's throw comes up a bit short. Detroit will get the throw in just in front of Danny Dicchio. Talked a little bit earlier about the Rhode Island players that are not available. Well, Detroit City are without quite a few notables as well. No Preston Tabor Itaka, no Michael Bryant, no Ben Morris, no Rafael Minsingen, and no Maxi Rodriguez either, for those that may be tuning in wondering what's happening with him. Well, he was not available for the Open Cup and is still not available today either. They're taking it kind of week by week with Maxi at the moment, so he will have to wait to make his Rhode Island return.
And we're excited for him as well, Mr. Boxer Box, Maxi Rodriguez. We were talking before the broadcast when he was playing with Detroit in Mesa. He was the best player in that league. They come into USL Championship. Well, would they fit in? Will Maxi Rodriguez actually raise to the standard? He flew to the standard of USL Championship and fit right in from season 1. He has that type of quality in midfield.
Had some really memorable moments here with Rhode Island last year as well. Some key goals, particularly from the penalty spot for Cano Smith's men. But we asked Danny Dicchio before the Open Cup game what was kind of behind the decision to bring Maxi back. He said, I just went to the front office. I said, can we do it? They said, yeah.
That easy,
and they were off to the races after that.
Not easy, just ask. Yeah, when you leave that sort of impression on a club, I think as long as the numbers add up, they'll do it.
Koke Vegas under some pressure here. And he nearly gave it back to Detroit. That was a kind Rhode Island bounce, but it goes out of play, and it's back to Detroit. Tommy Silva actually had a really strong Open Cup game against Flint City Bucks last time out. It seemed like any time Danny Dicchio's men needed an outlet, it'd either be him or Alex DeLue, who's on the bench today for Le Rouge, but scored the winning goal for Detroit in the 40th minute in a 1-0 win. Danny Dicchio said we want to see players shine in the Open Cup to make his decisions harder.
Wow.
At the starting 11 is Jojea Quizera does nicely here for Rhode Island. He's double booked here. Tries to slash past both of them. He's fouled. Free kick, Rhode Island.
Well, now they're playing him on the right-hand side. Now he's a completely different player. Before on the left, gets it the byline cross. Now on the right, he comes inside, trying to score for himself or create. He had a goal and an assist for Rwanda in the midweek during the international break. Here he comes again, splits 2 defenders. And boy, oh boy, there's nothing much you can do with him when he gets that first step. I think it was Montgomery that was left for dead.
Quizera will stand over the set piece that he helps to create here.
I love that they inverted him. Brought him on this side. Now he gets to see inside the field and create.
Quizera provides a decent ball. It's flicked onto the back stick. The header is down and blocked away. And eventually Detroit get their boots on it to clear it. But Rhode Island look to resurface it. It's a lovely ball back into Quizera's path. Quizera tries again. Bends it into the middle where it's caught by Carlos Herrera after a really promising Rhode Island sequence.
Well, good delivery. Look at the flick on here to the last post. Now it's no Darcy, and he couldn't get the powers shown to convert it. Yes, he nodded it down, just like his coach told him to, but it's one of those you just have to put your head behind it and go for power there. Not much angle to work with.
Well, RIFC is powered by Vitaldin, performance nutrition trusted by athletes from energy gels and electrolyte gummies. Vitaldin helps fuel training and match day. It's the official partner of RIFC. Well, one of the things we were anticipating before this game began was the fact that this could be quite the battle, a physical test as well for both teams. And we've certainly gotten glimpses of that. But both teams have just not been able to quite take full advantage of certain opportunities in front of goal. And at times here at home for Rhode Island in the last year plus, that's kind of been the same old story.
Other than Silva's cross to the last post that gave Cookie Vegas a hard time, I have to see Rhode Island are on the front foot with Quizera and company coming back into the lineup. That confidence as well starting to ripple through the rest of the side.
That's Abdoulaye Diop for Detroit. He's tripped up and wins Le Rouge a free kick.
Really don't like the fact that JJ Williams got himself a yellow card so early in the match. Sometimes it's just an inadvertent mistake now in the second half that can get him sent off.
Silva onto this near side. Not much room to operate in that particular moment for Artez Juve. Here is Devin Amu-Mensah. Attempted marauding run towards the edge of the area here from Yamazaki, who's tripped up, and Le Rouge have a free kick.
Well, Yamazaki, even though he's on the right-hand side, he's a technical player. Fantastic bit of dribbling to get past Hostad. There's nothing the number 12 could have done to stop him. And you know what? We've learned to expect that from Japanese players throughout the world. They are diminutive usually, and as a result, such great technical players with touch, control, and dribbling.
It's Yamazaki's second season with Detroit, was with, and now defunct, unfortunately, Northern Colorado Hailstorm in 2024 in USL League One. And Detroit have a couple players standing over this. It's Ryan Williams and Kobe Hernandez-Foster. Williams plays it to the edge of the area, and Artez Juve took too many touches and was closed down. Williams sends it right back into the middle here. Montgomery's header down. Needed a touch. And Darren Smith was the closest one to it. Doesn't react quickly enough. What a chance.
Well, this is what they were supposed to do from the original free kick. But after they botched it from a top 18-yard area, luckily they get it back. Fantastic deep cross. Did everything right to put it back across the face of the goal. Fantastic play by Montgomery.
Well, High Noon's quality is second to none, formulated with real spirits, juice, iced tea, no added sugar and natural flavors. It's the perfect drink for any occasion. That last Detroit chance might be the best chance for either side so far. Smith was just a smidge off. Outside of the boot pass is touched towards Juve. Headed back for Holstead here. And off the juggling, Holstead could not corral it. Juve down this near side. And on the cutback, Jope was not fouled. Rhode Island can continue on.
I love Rhode Island's recovery. Sometimes when you have the ball, you almost have to anticipate the counter-attack. So some of the players, if they're not in the attack, have to stay central just in case the ball was given away. It was given away, they were in a defensive posture, they forced Detroit out wide, and they won back the ball, they won back the ball fair and square.
Leo Alfonso tried to slide that through for Sanchez. And Detroit will reset with Herrera.
I think it's really important now for Detroit, despite Rhode Island's... Whoa.
That's a giveaway. Amu Mensah, as it slithers it through. Oh, and that was a chance to try and fit it through a tight window, a closing window for J.J. Williams. Detroit recovers. One back by Jojea Quizera. Doesn't quite have the numbers, but Quizera gets to the byline here. Keeps it in play. Finds Rodriguez. And again, Rodriguez puts too much on it and skies it.
Well, I don't know where to start. Abu Mensah almost gave Coach Salvatore a heart attack with that pass through the middle. Quizera being so left-footed, there was some daylight for him to cross the ball with his right. He comes back, leaves it for Rodriguez. And Rodriguez, I think, because of the lack of confidence, in two minds.
Well, there's no job too big with Norfolk Power Equipment, New England's premier Kubota dealer. Norfolk Power Equipment is a proud sponsor of RIFC. Go down today and get the job done with Norfolk Power.
We were saying before Mensah gave away the ball, it was an important time for Detroit to get a hold of the ball, bring the ball out to the back smoothly, give everyone a touch, get some confidence going, get some rhythm going. But I think Mensah was trying to be too cute and almost got burnt.
You mentioned it earlier, fine margins tend to be the theme when these two get together. Any of those kinds of mistakes could prove to be game-deciding moments. Sanchez, who scored against Hartford in the Open Cup. So that was a lovely moment for Sanchez, who of course missed a key penalty in the USL Cup shootout against Hartford here last season. Meanwhile, Rhode Island are knifing their way through, and they'd cut Detroit to ribbons here. But again, Rodriguez is not on target with the final touch.
I want to start with Darcy and Quizera. The lovely 1-2 for the centre-back and the right midfielder. Back out to Holstead, and a great ball back in. And P.T. Rodriguez, his confidence is really in not a good place, let's just say it very nicely. But I think the little Argentine has the quality that Rhode Island will be impressed once he gets one to go in.
Had a few of those chances that went over the bar against Jacksonville here as well.
And he also had some 1v1s against Miami just about a week ago, in which both him and Alfonso did not convert. And that resulted in a loss on the road to a very surprising South Miami team, South Florida team, Miami, who are having a great run to start the season.
They really have. It's been one of the more surprising outfits so far, but...
And their style of play is very easy on the eyes as well.
Yeah. We'll see if they can keep it going in the right direction. It's been a few years since Miami made the playoffs. That's touched out for Grant Stoneman after J.J. Williams was blocked off.
I love what Stoneman just did. He completely extinguished any sort of fire there was around. And now they have back confidence. Now they have Detroit pinned back in their own half and start the recycle the ball and start all over again.
Karifa Yao very much assessing the scene here. No Darcy back to him. Giop. Plays it out to the far side for Sanchez. Didn't have too much to work with. Finds Holstead. Holstead clips it over the top. Afonso's header. And the offside flag goes up. The New England laborers are training the workforce of today. That'll build our tomorrow. With state-of-the-art training facilities across Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Connecticut, you'll be equipped with the classroom and job site knowledge to start a rewarding career in the construction industry. Build your future with the union that built Centerville Bank Stadium, the home of RIFC. Well, it has certainly been a promising spell from Rhode Island in these last few sequences, but they're still missing that key moment to open the scoring. Could this be the moment? Rodriguez tries to get onto it after a good challenge by Williams to win it back, but Detroit recovers after nearly making another blunder defensively.
Rhode Island are doing a great job with their pressing. They're so organized and they're hunting in packs. Nobody's getting separated. JJ Williams is the one deciding if to go forward or to come back. And boy, have they been disciplined.
Vegas off his line collects, and that ball looped over the top.
And this is the Rhode Island team that we saw last year that was so successful. A group of players playing on the same page and moving as one. And having just enough dynamic flair with Quizera and company to get goals.
Holstead for Quizera, who returns the favor. Rodriguez was making a run. Holstead thinks better of it, finds Sanchez. Leo Afonso here, cutting in field. Holstead again, pulling the strings. Has Jope behind him. Rodriguez.
You know, despite the scorelines that weren't very impressive in USL Championship for Rhode Island, the average coming into the US Open Cup game, 17.5 shots per game. Right now, at 30 minutes gone, they have 8 shots already. Not on target, but still, you like the adventure in the final third.
Jope again for Sanchez. And he played quite a hopeful ball over the top, easily vacuumed in by Callum Montgomery. Detroit can build again here with Montgomery from Amu Mensah. Now Silva trying to poke it down the line. And a foul will be called. No Darce fouling Juve. Free kick Detroit. Referee reminds Nodarse how many times he's committed a foul in the first half. Well, enjoy a sip of sunshine and celebrate the hometown team with a wicked good IPA from Lawson's Finest Liquids, proud partner of RIFC.
Well, Nodarse is a physical defender. We talked about the master of the Dark Arts. And he's going to really, really give Diouf a hard time settling in on this left-hand side.
Well, there's a player down, I believe, for Detroit in the center circle, so an impromptu water break has broken out here. Gives Cotto Smith a chance to kind of reset things with his guys who have come close to breaking the deadlock a few times in this first half, particularly through Pity Rodriguez. And Detroit, I wonder if, as they get a reset here with their own coaching staff here, if they might need to make a substitution. Well, meanwhile, the Rhode Island Lottery is a proud partner of RIFC. Quick reset for you. Sean St. Jacques, Ryan Davis, our entire crew, happy to have you with us. Both teams have had pretty good chances to score here in Pawtucket. Detroit's probably had the best chance so far, that Montgomery glancing header that was played right out in front of goal that neither Juve or Smith could get on the end of. Since then, Rhode Island have been the better team. They've had the better chances. but neither side have broken the deadlock.
They've had most of the possession as well, Rhode Island. I think just about 58% so far. And then also we talked about the shots. So they're taking that possession and producing, I wouldn't say clear-cut chances, but half chances to get shots on goal. None on goal so far, but players like Holstad in the middle of the park have been very aggressive in trying to win the ball back. And when they do get the ball, they've been direct. And having Quizera on that right-hand side all of a sudden gives you a goal-scoring threat compared to just being a provider on that left-hand side.
It looks like the player who was injured was Kobe Hernandez Foster. I think he's going to try to get back into the game, so that's a good sign for Detroit. About 10 minutes plus stoppage time left in the opening half.
You know, the beauty about the league is that every match there's a little bit of a story behind it. And Rhode Island, winless after 3 USL Championship games. Detroit have had some wins under their belt, and now they are away to Rhode Island. Understand, this knocking the ball at the backfield, trying to find some space. They are in no hurry to try and get a goal today. Of course they would like to score, Detroit, but the pressure is on Rhode Island at home to try and get a win for the first time in 2026.
Detroit are still down to 10 here, by the way. Kobe Hernandez Foster has not been allowed to re-enter yet. And that's going to slide through for Sanchez. Into the middle looking for Williams. The header is down towards Quizera. Detroit are still trying to get Kobe Hernandez Foster back on. Now he's back in. But here comes Rhode Island again. No, Darce has his cross blocked. Detroit having to do a couple of sequence of defending here with just 10 on the pitch. But Danny Dicchio's side are able to handle that task. You wondered why it took so long. Kobe Hernandez Foster had a couple of windows where he could have been allowed back on. The referee just would not let him back in. Or maybe didn't see him. Maybe wasn't communicated properly. But either way, Detroit are able to survive that sequence. And now Rhode Island could be in an injury situation here as well. J.C. Griggs does well here. It's a possible head injury to Rodriguez. And the medical staff will take it from here.
Well, Rodriguez, as he hit the deck, realized he wasn't hurt as bad as he thought and gave the thumbs up to the sidelines. But I love this new rule. If you're going to go down and hold your head, you're going to get medical attention. You're going to have to come off to the side and come back in.
It's great for two reasons. One, better be safe than sorry, particularly with a head injury. But number two, we know the dark arts of the game. It kind of covers both.
Yeah, especially for someone like Pity Rodriguez. 2 players collided with him. It was hard for him to win that matchup. He goes down, wins a free kick, can stay down for a while, get his team to settle. However, back on the field, no love lost. Look at that hold-up play by J.J. Williams.
Excellent from J.J. Williams here. And he finds Quizera on the near side. Quizera's early cross into the penalty area was nearly perfect. It nearly fell for J.J. Williams again, but Le Rouge are able to deal with it. And then is it going to be a trip here? Danny Dicchio's asking for a foul. Eventually a foul is called. And Jojea Quizera needs to be careful here.
He cannot have no argument, Sean. That first challenge on Diouf was a foul. The referee tried to play it on right. Oh, actually, it was Diouf tripped over himself. I take it all back. Oh, there was a second foul, by the way. So, yes, there was a second challenge. There was a foul from behind. And you're never going to win that argument with the referee.
Clearly, Quizera's reacting to the fact that, as we just saw, Juve actually tripped over himself. The tough part after that, of course, that he fouled him.
That he did foul him, yep, correct.
Well, for all your RIFC gear, visit Rhode Island FC's online team store, powered by Capelli. Shop.rhodeislandfc.com is where you go. Another physical challenge from Karifa Yao. It'll stay with Rhode Island here via a throw into Grant Stoneman. Sanchez tiptoeing the touchline here and then gives the ball away to Detroit.
Oh,
Clever moves here from Yamazaki.
and now that they've sucked in so many blue shirts, it'll be awesome for Detroit to switch the play.
That's exactly what they tried to do, and it nearly worked, but it's a poor feed. No, Darce cuts it out. Holstead pokes it through for J.J. Williams. Now Quizera on the near side. Referee's allowed play to continue here. Quizera back for Williams. Williams is going to be double parked here, maybe triple parked. Keeps it alive. No, Darce does well. Gliding past a couple of challenges here and wins Rhode Island a Chick-fil-A Attleboro corner.
Quizera had a chance to put the ball in J.J. Williams' stride. It was just a hairline behind him. It stopped the play. Williams had to come back around. But this guy, no Darcy, he's so dynamic. Plays center back, right back, whatever you need. He's physical and he's a good distributor as well.
And if Rhode Island scores from a corner, go to a Chick-fil-A Attleboro location, get a free chicken sandwich. Agustin, Pitti, Rodriguez stands over this. 5 minutes left in the half plus stoppage time. J.C. Griggs trying to keep the peace on the edge of the 6 here. Calls over a few players here to have a brief conference. It was Juf and Jope. And Yamazaki was listening in as well. Can Rhode Island break the deadlock here? In by Rodriguez, bodies flying all over the place here. And eventually it's going to be a foul. Free kick for Detroit. I think Grant Stolman knew what he was doing there, didn't want Detroit to get out in transition. It's Abdoulaye Jope who's down here. And does the referee have to make a decision over a card? Detroit are certainly asking the question.
I don't think so. I think it was definitely a foul, but no chance of a yellow card. I mean, the defender was almost right on top of the ball. Diop did a great job getting his body in the way. Right here, he takes off. He has such a great acceleration. It was a foul, absolutely. Yellow card, no chance.
You do see yellow cards given in transitional moves in the middle of the park. Perhaps being on the edge of the area is what bails Grant Stoneman out here.
Well said. I think if he was in a more dangerous position, yes, that would have been carded. But it's so far back from his own goal.
Herrera under pressure, loops it over the top. It was flicked on into some space here by Juf, but then Rhode Island recovers it and wins a free kick off of Abdoulaye Jope, who didn't put in the best challenge there for Detroit on Frank Nodarce. And now, of course, Kano Smith's asking the question about a card.
Well, the love relationship between Nodarce and Diouf continues on this near side. Both of them have collided more times than any other pair on the field so far in the first 42 minutes. And that is going to continue in the second half, no doubt. Nobody's been carded so far between Diouf and Nodarce.
Oh, Rhode Island, did they touch the ball here? Because Detroit come in and steal it away. Jesse El Cedeno has it on the far side. Cross into the middle, and the header is saved by Vegas. Rhode Island are incensed here. But if Nodarce touched that, the ball was in play, and Detroit were smart to get on it here. Did he touch it? He
Yes,
absolutely did.
Yep, and he did it on purpose as well. And now, excellent. What a heads-up play that was by Darren Smith. And the ball comes in from Cedeno. Good power on the header, but Koke Vegas, elite shot stopper in this league, does it again.
Well, Rhode Island were nearly completely caught out by a massive miscue there. Up the other end, Sanchez. It's then played square back to Sanchez by Holstead. Back to Sanchez from Afonso.
I thought he was trying to be cheeky. I think he wanted to get the ball back in play with Detroit sort of with their heads down, walking back and get started. He came back to burn him. And I tell you what, his captain, Koke Vegas, bailed him out.
I was just going to say, he might owe him, dare I say, a Christmas card.
He will be on the list for 2026.
Huge save, to say the least, from Koke Vegas. Someone needed to have their head on a swivel for Rhode Island in that particular moment.
And they did everything right. Cedinho with a great ball in. The header was fantastic, good power. Just Vegas was better.
Well, and you hit the nail right on the head. Credit Detroit for noticing Rhode Island's plan and nearly turning it into a goal.
Yeah, Smith had his eyes on it the entire time and rushed right on the scene.
Here come Le Rouge again. This is Silva. 2 men for Rhode Island trying to track him down, and eventually they do, but it falls kindly here for Job. Abdoulaye Job is straight up dispossessed. That was a clean challenge from Holstead, who recovers in that moment for Rhode Island. Now Afonso putting pressure on and commits an unnecessary foul, pushing away here.
And usually when referees stop these sort of fouls, it results in a yellow card. I'll be very, very surprised if a card is not shown here.
Afonso pushing over Yamazaki.
Because Detroit had the ball, they could have played on, no special reason. If you're going to call it back, there should be a result.
3 added minutes at the end of the half. And there's no card, we've been told. So J.C. Griggs didn't see it the same way. And
should have
frankly,
just played on. Should have just played it on then. Detroit had the ball just like this at the back.
Well, and to your point, Leo Afonso is quite fortunate to not be yellow carded, considering that the play was stopped. And Detroit has a throw in on the near side. By the way, just another few examples there of why there's never a dull moment in the USL Championship. Things that you just don't see very often happening in the last 5 or 10 minutes.
You know, we see the USL Championship, we've seen the US Open Cup. It gives us a chance to see the American soccer landscape at work and to see this league continue to blossom week in and week out. It shows that everything is running according to plan in the American soccer landscape.
Detroit throw on this near side. We had some wild moments in the games last week as well. You and I had a game where both teams missed a penalty inside of the opening 30 minutes. There was the odd moment in Oakland where a goalkeeper threw the ball back onto the pitch during a break up the other end.
The Wild Wild West. This is perfect for Detroit, by the way. Remember, on the road, you have a couple of wins under your belt.
Right.
You have a very hungry, angry Rhode Island team that wants to get a win at home. They're first for the USL Championship in 2026. Hold the ball as long as you can. Draw the blue shirts to you. Then you get Cedinho and Diouf coming down the sides. Try and hit diagonals to them to get behind that back line.
That's a foul, by the way, on J.J. Williams. Remember, has to be careful on a yellow card.
Last time we saw this, they tried something cute on top of the box, and then they finally executed the cross they were supposed to the back post. Montgomery's header across the goal. Hopefully this time, they go straight to their centre-back.
Williams and Hernandez-Foster stand over, and it's played short for Kobe Hernandez-Foster.
Well, Montgomery must be steaming in the 18-yard box right now. He was queuing up for the cross.
Final seconds of the half as well. A little surprising, Detroit didn't think to just put it into the area. Never know what could happen. Montgomery loops it over the top here. Wasn't much contact there, and Nodarse, for some reason, sweeps it out for a corner, but I don't think there's going to be enough time to take it. So it is halftime here in Pawtucket. Some strange moments at the end of the half, but it is 0-0 between Rhode Island and Detroit City.
Well, I think Coach Smith has gotten back to his DNA. His team is compact. They play in a 4-4-2, actually 4-5-1 today with J.J. Williams up top. I don't think they created enough big chances, but they certainly had the lion's share of possession and asked the question more times than Detroit. However, Detroit have done a good job sitting back, being patient, and creating just enough chances to be interesting.
The plot thickens here in Pawtucket. 0-0 scoreline between Rhode Island and Detroit at the half. Fans here hoping that Rhode Island can finally get that first league win of the 2026 campaign, but Detroit are holding their own We'll look around the rest of the USL Championship after the break. 0-0 in Rhode Island at the half.
You may think the nicest moments happen once you've arrived at your destination. At Breeze, we think they happen all along the way.
Yeah, let me grab that for you.
That was so nice.
Whether you're kicking back in Breeze Ascent or just enjoying time together in family seating, we take creating nice moments seriously, so you're ready for the rest of the journey ahead. When it's all over, the nicest moment might just be planning your next trip. Breeze. Seriously nice.
Hi, welcome. How can I help you? Sure, I can help you with that. How would you like to make the deposit today? Cash or check? Thank you for visiting Centerville Bank. Have a great day.
It doesn't matter what you ride to work as long as you leave your car behind. May is Bike to Work Month, and it's more rewarding than ever thanks to the Drive Less RI app. Whether you're pedaling to the office or cruising to class, earn rewards by logging your green trips. Download the Drive Less RI app today, or visit drivelessri.com to get started. And be on the lookout for our celebration stations in May. For more info, visit ripta.com/bike-to-work.
At Ortho Rhode Island, we've built the future of orthopedic care around an important foundation: you. Our experienced surgeons and specialists offer the full spectrum of orthopedic care with leading-edge treatments and technology and a one-of-a-kind patient experience. From diagnosis to outpatient surgery, physical and occupational therapy, acute injury care, and advanced imaging, we make you the cornerstone of innovative care. To learn more or schedule an appointment, visit orthopedicsri.com.
Halftime here in Rhode Island is brought to you by Gem Plumbing, official partner of RIFC. No score yet here in Pawtucket, but we'll have more from around the rest of the USL Championship coming right up, and of course the second half after that here at the half.
It is halftime in the USL Championship. We hope you're enjoying your match so far. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at some of the headlines for this week. Louisville City became the first club to win 200 regular season matches in the USL Championship with its 1-0 victory at Brooklyn FC. Louisville accomplishes that feat in 342 regular season matches. Round 2 of the U.S. Open Cup featured some great matchups between championship clubs. Rhode Island FC knocks off El Clamico rival Hartford 2-0 on a soggy night. Here are the clubs from USL that are headed to the third round. USL is very busy in the upcoming weeks on national television. Next Saturday, Sporting Jacks at Detroit City on 2DN, then a pair of matches on the CBS Sports Network. Saturday the 18th, a 3 o'clock start, Tampa Bay Rowdies at Charleston Battery. El Clamico returns on Saturday the 25th, this time in the Prince Tires USL Cup. That's a look at the headlines for this week. Let's get you back to your match for the second half. With the field for World Cup 2026 now set, the USL can enjoy its place in the countdown to history. Never before has an active USL player taken part in a World Cup, until now. For the past 2.5 years, more than 30 players from USL Championship and League One battled through World Cup qualifying. This summer, 6 of them have a chance to hit the field for their respective country. Miami FC teammates Eloy Rom and Jurgen Lacadia made history, helping Curacao qualify for the World Cup for the first time ever. Curacao will face Germany, Ivory Coast, and Ecuador in group play. And for the first time since 1974, Haiti will take part in the World Cup, following a very unique road through qualifying. 4 championship players, Duke Lacroix and Garvin Matusala of Colorado Springs, Delence Pierre from FC Tulsa, and Carl Sente from New Mexico United, led Haiti through qualifying without playing a home match. Now the Haitian team faces a tough group at the World Cup with matches against Brazil, Morocco, and Scotland. But while World Cup qualifying owned the spotlight in late March, several USL players took part on U.S. youth national teams, also on the world stage. Colton Swan of Charleston Battery scored a goal for the U.S. under-20 team against Argentina in Argentina. Orange County SC's Tyson Espy played for the under-17 team in Paraguay. And the U.S. under-18 team played in Portugal, featuring Ramiz Hamuda from Birmingham Legion, Brandon Days of Louisville City, and Jameer Johnson from Orange County SC.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This spring, stay 3 nights and get a $50 Best Western gift card.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines. From early mornings to late nights. From fun with friends to winner takes all. From the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
The header is down! It's in! Charleston take the lead and stop it! Nice ball, Cindy! Doubles the Rowdy's lead!
Hi, welcome. How can I help you? Sure, I can help you with that. How would you like to make the deposit today? Cash or check? Thank you for visiting Centerville Bank. Have a great day.
These fans are winners of the Seriously Nice seat upgrade, courtesy of Breeze Airways. Each match, Breeze Airways upgrades lucky fans to a premium matchday experience. Breeze Airways is a proud partner of RIFC. Sean St. Jacques, Ryan Davis back here with you at the half between Rhode Island and Detroit. No score yet. We'll get to the second half coming up in just a few moments. We've been keeping an eye on some of the other games going on right now, and there's a few interesting scorelines. 0-0, Miami and Hartford. What a back-to-back couple of weeks it could be for Miami if they can get a result there. Charleston are 1-0 up at Louisville. They haven't beaten Louisville in a few years. What a result that could be for Ben Pierman's Battery if they can hold on there.
That would be super nice, but fantastic for Charleston to actually get a goal on the road. That means that second half is going to be electric, Sean, but Miami continuing their form and they're home as well, giving Hartford everything they can handle.
Switchbacks Lexington, a good one just underway in the West as well. Upcoming schedule, we've got a packed slate tonight around the grounds. A Floridian derby, Jacksonville, Tampa Bay, CBS Sports Golazo. El Paso are red hot. Can they keep it going against Vegas? And then a rematch of the 2023 Western Conference Final, Sacramento and Phoenix at 10 p.m. That's on ESPN+. Of course, another Golazo game late on tonight, Monterey Bay, San Antonio. Lots of good stuff coming up. And can't forget about that other one as well, Orange County, New Mexico. So a lot of key games around the grounds tonight in the USL Championship. So we'll keep an eye on those scores as they come together. Highlights, stats, second half kick coming up next.
It doesn't matter what you ride to work as long as you leave your car behind. May is Bike to Work Month, and it's more rewarding than ever thanks to the Drive Less RI app. Whether you're pedaling to the office or cruising to class, earn rewards by logging your green trips. Download the Drive Less RI app today, or visit drivelessri.com to get started. And be on the lookout for our celebration stations in May. For more info, visit ripta.com/bike-to-work.
At Ortho Rhode Island, we've built the future of orthopedic care around an important foundation, you. Our experienced surgeons and specialists offer the full spectrum of orthopedic care with leading-edge treatments and technology and a one-of-a-kind patient experience. From diagnosis to outpatient surgery, physical and occupational therapy, acute injury care, and advanced imaging, we make you the cornerstone of innovative care. To learn more or schedule an appointment, visit orthopedicsri.com.
Hi, welcome. How can I help you? Sure, I can help you with that. How would you like to make the deposit today? Cash or check? Thank you for visiting Centerville Bank. Have a great day.
You may think the nicest moments happen once you've arrived at your destination. At Breeze, we think they happen all along the way.
Yeah, let me grab that for you.
That was so nice.
Whether you're kicking back in Breeze Ascent or just enjoying time together in family seating, we take creating nice moments seriously, so you're ready for the rest of the journey ahead. When it's all over, the nicest moment might just be planning your next trip. Breeze. Seriously nice.
Sean and Ryan back here with you. Gem Plumbing halftime score is Rhode Island 0, Detroit City 0. We'll have the second half coming up momentarily here. Let's look back through the first half highlights. They're presented by Cox, the official partner
The captain leading from in front, even though he is the keeper, he's setting the tone for the standard that is needed to compete.
halftime stats. There's two key stats to look at here. Just 2 shots for Detroit, but one of them on target. 8 shots for Rhode Island, none of them testing Herrera so far.
Yeah, they actually haven't got behind that back line. Everything is sort of in front of Detroit, and that's exactly where Detroit wants them. But because Rhode Island are at home, wanting or needing to get a win, they're sort of forcing the action and forcing the shots.
We've seen Rhode Island in these spots before. We've seen them overcome it. We've seen them succumb to it, particularly at home when they've had to play through a very organized defense. And as we know, Danny Dichio's Detroit are rather organized.
They are, and this is where P.T. Rodriguez has to come in. Clay Holstad coming from deep, being the late runner. Alfonso. This is why they brought him in, to be that type of player on a tight game to make the difference. These three players have to step up. JJ Williams has already done his part midweek, goal and an assist. So let's see what happens with the rest of the players. Can they contribute?
Well, teams will switch sides at the start of the second half. Again, we'll have a little interruption here at the beginning of the second half. One thing that I want to reiterate that we talked about a little bit at the end of the first half was, despite the solid defensive stands from Detroit, Rhode Island finished the better of the two teams at the end of the half. Overall, again, you could put the mistake from Nodarse to the side on that slightly. But overall, the big picture thing is Rhode Island took momentum into halftime here. Now, can they carry that into the second half and get what would be a pretty key opening goal?
I think that would be ideal for them. It would take the pressure off of them and put all the pressure on Detroit. But I think the longer this match goes on, as organized as Detroit is, as Detroit understanding what this game needs, some management on their end, the longer that happens, the tighter it's going to be for Rhode Island and the harder it's going to get to score on Detroit. So, first 15 minutes here, you're going to want positioning. You want, as Rhode Island, you want to pin Detroit back in their own half and really force the action. Don't let them get any sort of rhythm. You keep them you stay on the front foot and keep them on the back foot.
Rhode Island will be going from right to left here, Centerville Bank Stadium in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Sean St. Jacques, Ryan Davis, our entire crew. Great to have you with us. Just kind of kicking off, really, a full day, incredible slate of USL Championship action that'll literally take you into tomorrow. That's just the way we like it on a USL Soccer Saturday. That's going to roll out of play. And it's a Rhode Island goal kick in front of the Rhode Island Ultras here.
Defiance, 1636. They've made a lot of noise on Wednesday on a rainy night. I believe it's 46 degrees in Rhode Island today. Not exactly sunshine and rainbows, but still more comfortable than Wednesday night.
I still marvel at just how quickly this Rhode Island fan base has grown in now year 3. It just materialized so quickly. Clearly, the league and the Rhode Island ownership knew that they were tapping into a soccer-crazed community here. And it's just incredible, the passion, the knowledge that the fans have about their team, about their players, about the game. And to have that as your foundation, on top of course, 2 really strong playoff runs, that of course helps as well to have success. But the foundation that Rhode Island have to go into, again, a lot of big things the league has planned for the next few seasons, just shows you how bright the future is around these parts.
And they have an incredible stadium to talk about. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at these facilities, state of the art. And then they have a fantastic podcast called Raising the Anchor. Those guys do a great job.
Absolutely.
I mean, they really, really deliver it every single week. Shout out to Raising the Anchor. It's Jason Kerry.
Alfonso dinks that into the middle as well. It's going to fall for JJ Williams. Quizera tried to hook it backwards there, and then it's cleared away. This is just a, to cover our bases here. We mentioned Raising Anchor, and they're great. That's a great podcast.
Are you going to say however?
We do need to also mention Tide Talk. That's another very key thing to mention. You cannot mention one without the other.
I love it. Yes. 2
great Rhode Island podcasts run by, again, fans that clearly know the game, care about their team as well.
No surprise.
They break down every game, by the way, basically play-by-play on those podcasts as well.
So are we going to be graded on this one, you think?
Oh, I definitely believe we are. We know the passion that these fans have. I just hope we pass, frankly.
Yes. Whatever we can do using the Anchor and,
and Tide Talk,
and Tide Talk, whatever we can do, let us know.
Well, it gives us time to tell you that you can come up clutch with the Wendy's app, save time, save money, get the W. Wendy's is a proud partner of RIFC.
We just talked about the positioning, exactly where they wanted Detroit, back in their own third, just to dominate that side or they dominate the field and pin Detroit back. Don't give them any sort of rhythm. You want to be on the front foot as the home side. You want to be the team instigating as the team looking for the win. You don't want Detroit to become the protagonist.
It's Kobe Hernandez-Foster just trying to flick it through the lines here.
And what about Ryan Williams on the ball? And he's like Xavi-like in this league.
He is taken off of it there. Williams tried to thread the needle for Quizera. It was on. Couldn't find him.
JJ Williams, I'm stunned. Quizera was on his bike. If you just put it in front of him, the Rwandan would have run to goal and gotten behind the back line. Just paying attention to Detroit's press here. They're really almost in two minds. They're not sitting back in a mid, and they're not even sitting back in a mid block, and they're not pressing all the way up. I just want them to be a little bit more assertive in either direction. Either you're going to sit back in a mid block and protect, and then pick your spots to counter press, or you're going to go forward full-fledged. Now they're like, should we go? Should we stay?
Whether it's on the field or in the office, great teams need great coverage. Delta Dental of Rhode Island offers affordable dental and vision plans with top-rated customer service. Learn more at deltadentalri.com. It's played out wide for Silva. Mentioned Ryan Williams. Williams and Silva both were very key in Detroit's victory against the Flint City Bucks in the Open Cup.
What an atmosphere, I'm sure.
Oh. Flint City Bucks, by the way, are kind of known for being giant killers. They've beaten 11 pro teams in their history.
Wow.
In the Open Cup. That's the most by an amateur side in the modern era. So Detroit had their hands full midweek. They really did. And to say they passed the test with flying colors might even be an understatement. They really kind of sucked the life out of their old rivals at the end of that game. And on a 1-0 margin, that's not easy to do. And they swimmingly, really, entered the round of 32.
Was it a cold, rainy night like it was in Rhode Island?
Was it ever?
On Wednesday night, yeah.
Was it ever? It got nearly down to freezing temperatures in
I love it.
Grand Blanc, Michigan, where the game was played.
A cup game, a local derby.
Yeah.
It's cold and rainy. Just like it was in Rhode Island against Hartford on Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's the stage you want for a cup game.
Scandinavian Building Services is a proud partner of RIFC. As Koke Vegas and company will clear the lines for Rhode Island. The header by Nodarse is into the path of Kobe Hernandez-Foster. Handball appeals come in. Play continues. Rodriguez trying to wrap it around the corner for Jojea Quizera. Didn't really have much real estate to play that ball into.
And it's all too familiar for Rhode Island in the early part of this season. That final product, that final pass, or the final shot, it's just not there. They want to be aggressive. They're putting blue shirts forward, but the link-up play and the gelling in the last third, there are too many holes in the last third. And not that JJ Williams is really playing well, I think, in the early part of the season. I just think that his supporting cast, the players that are playing around him, you know, you have like your Alonso's. He's not into his rhythm as yet with his first season with Rhode Island. Pity Rodriguez is trying to find his way. This is his first season in the USL Championship. Quizera is now starting to hit stride, but with, let's say, 35 minutes left in this game, it's going to fall on Williams, on Quizera.
Atez Juve picked up a yellow card for his involvement in the last sequence, and then as Rhode Island tried to maraud forward, they commit a foul themselves, so Le Rouge are back on it with nearly 10 minutes played at the start of the second half. And again, JJ Williams got involved again, needs to be careful on the yellow card. Juve now joins him in that similar situation. Oh, how clever was that from Williams?
Oh,
Up ahead here. Smith back across. And the shot is going to go wide from Jessiel Cedeno after Detroit worked their moves so well here.
well, people ask about distributors who play deep in the midfield. Ryan Williams is one of those, let's say, orchestrators right at the feet of Smith in stride. Smith is now behind the back line. He hooks it back. What a tackle by Holstad. We talk about two important midfielders for each other's team, Ryan Williams and Holstad. You just got a prime example there.
Williams will take over corner kick duties as well, trying to actually get some of his teammates' attention here.
Sean, I hate trick plays. I hate trick plays when they try. There are too many moving parts. Unless it's perfected, don't try it. Get your centre backs to the back post, have your forward run to the first post, trying to get a flick on, or put something right into the mixer where the keeper is and try and nod one in. Don't overthink it.
Williams just sends it in. It's well defended by JJ Williams. It's hooked clear. Le Rouge will have to reset.
Now Detroit are doing exactly what Rhode Island are supposed to be doing, forcing the opposing team back in their own third. That's the first diagonal pass we've seen so far in this match. And Darcy, of course, right place at the right time.
It's going to go right back out. There's been some dead ball moments where both teams have not really capitalized. Detroit thought they should have had another set piece there, not given. Williams controls for Detroit City under heavy pressure from Stoneman.
And there's Stoneman stepping into midfield. Of course, Darcy and Jiao will get very close together with Diop when Stoneman does that. But he has that ability to influence the things in the center circle as of now.
I think Detroit were thinking Rhode Island handled the ball there. Again, plays allowed to carry on. Vegas flicked that upfield. It was tough to tell from our angle if it did hit off a Rhode Island hand. Certainly J.C. Griggs didn't see enough. Sanchez played around the corner. Leo Alfonso has real estate to run into here for Rhode Island. Slips it through looking for J.J. Williams. And it was the right idea, just slightly overcooked. And Herrera is there.
As Alfonso was going right, J.J. Williams began to go left. And the ball just a little too far in front of him, but the number 9 would have welcomed that.
Miller Lite is a proud sponsor of RIFC. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
And that is also seriously nice.
I appreciate you keeping up on those kinds of things.
Now it's stuck in my mind. Now it's stuck in my mind. It's not going to go anywhere.
Well, Detroit trying to play direct here over the top. It's going to be kept in play. Rhode Island will get the throw, but Detroit can reset up a press here as opposed to the alternative.
Yeah, to get out of here, J.J. Williams may have to step into that pocket just to the left of the referee's shoulder. So to P.T. Rodriguez to try and help out Darcy.
Darcy will throw it further down the line towards J.J. Williams, and it's given right back to Detroit. Devin Amumensa plays through the lines here. Rodriguez steps in nicely for Rhode Island. Alfonso for Sanchez. And Alfonso was fouled. Free kick for Rhode Island.
Where is the yellow card? No intention for going at the ball. Just takes out Alfonso, tackle from behind. And you really want to see that penalized because all that does is take away the rhythm. Look at this challenge. Bang. I mean, that is just cynical.
AAA Insurance is a proud home, auto, and life insurance partner of RIFC. Yeah, certainly live, Ryan. I was with you on that. Looked like a card was going to come out, but J.C. Griggs did not go to his pocket there.
And players rely on referees being consistent. If they're not going to be consistent, well, then another player from the other side is going to say, well, maybe I can get away with that, and then try something out of the ordinary.
Yeah, that's exactly when things can start to bubble over, particularly in a game that is finally poised as this one is right now. And Nakamura, beg your pardon, Yamazaki, with some delightful footwork here on the near side. But in the end, Haruki Yamazaki was dispossessed.
Please don't apologize calling him Nakamura. Nakamura is a legend of Japanese football. So if Yamazaki was called Nakamura, he will bow and say thank you.
And Williams with some clever skill there, but a Rhode Island player is down.
Well, Japanese players are known for their technical play, and Yamazaki no different. Little flip-flop coming up.
Some would say Nakamura-like.
Very much Nakamura-like, and he's off to his races. Now blue shirts are just backpedaling. Good tackle by Holstad to cover.
A yellow card did come out at the back end. Abdoulaye Job picks up a yellow card here for Detroit. It's the second player Danny Dicchio has on a yellow. Here's the challenge on Stoneman.
You think maybe that was because of the challenge before on Alfonso, that he maybe let that one slide? And
Possible.
Yeah.
Rodriguez is going to make way here on a Rhode Island change. And Noah Fuson will enter the fray for Rhode Island. Certainly could help to change the tide.
I think the fresh legs of Fusion is really going to provide some problems for this back line, because he's quick, he's direct, like Petit Rodriguez. But now at this stage of the match, with 30 minutes to go, to have those type of fresh legs come at you directly could be a problem.
They try to get Fuson involved right away, but he's dispossessed. Williams trying to follow up. The connection that Noah Fuson has with many of the attacking players, particularly J.J. Williams, has been well documented, but that's why Kato Smith has brought him in here, to try to provide a little bit of magic in the final third in a game that's kind of crying out for it here.
Didn't have the best outing on Wednesday against Hartford, so I think Coach Smith bringing him on with 30 minutes to go, less pressure on him, just being an impact type player for a short space of time.
That was good skill to poke that forward. Helped along by Juve. Cross is deflected back towards Atez Juve here, edge of the area. Yamazaki. Double parked, dispossessed. Played forward for Fuson. Fuson into the path on this near side of Afonso. Williams through the middle. Leo Afonso switches the point of the attack. Quizera trying to find space here on the overlap. Nodarse into the middle. Does it come off someone's hand in there? Nodarse recovers. Nodarse through the legs and then was stood up. Kept in by Quizera. Quizera's turn now for Grant Stoneman. Stoneman puts his boot through it and sends it just over the bar and out of play.
Well, it all started way back in their own half. The counter-attack began, and he's shot by Stoneman. He has that type of quality, the centre-back. That would have been a spectacular goal, by the way. But there were moments there you thought they'll get behind the Detroit backline, but Detroit being so organized and stubborn, survived the attack. And it really shows the quality of this Detroit team on the road against a hungry Rhode Island team, and they still can't get behind that Detroit backline.
It's going to get even tougher now with Aiden Stanley being brought into the fold here by Danny Dicchio. He'll replace Jesse L. Cedeno. Another really strong defensive player for Detroit brought in there.
Very left-footed and has an engine second to no one in this league.
Sanchez gets there first for Rhode Island. Afonso for Stoneman. Stoneman returns the favor, but Afonso couldn't control it. Cleared away by Devin Amu-Mensah. And then Jope on this near side wins Rhode Island a throw. 25 minutes plus stoppage time left.
I love the energy. I love the fact that both teams are trying to go for it, more so Rhode Island, of course. But the game needs a goal. I think if the game gets a goal, it will explode even more.
Lovely ball into the path of Noah Fuson. Owen Fuson tried to thread the needle for Afonso, and again Detroit are able to close the door in the nick of time.
Well, Yamazaki is threatening along this right-hand side with the ball. Look at him covering with his defensive responsibilities. Fantastic tackle.
Well, High Noon's quality is second to none. Formulated with real spirits, juice, iced tea, no added sugar and natural flavors. It's the perfect drink for any occasion.
Sonia, getting through that list?
We're rolling through here.
Yeah, doing great.
It's going to be a Sanchez throw on the near side.
Well, it's that time of the game where both coaches are no longer sitting. The fourth official has to remind their coaches to get back down, and you can't blame them. The game is hanging in the balance. Rhode Island, of course, is pressuring and trying to get their first win for the season, and Detroit are showing what a quality team they are, playing as a unit.
Last time these two teams met, August 6th of last year, it came down to a moment where Rhode Island won a penalty. Maxi Rodriguez scored the penalty. That was the key moment. Rhode Island won by a goal to nil. Could it be another key moment, mistake, mishap, or moment of quality that separates these two this time? Fuson back into the middle. Amu-Mensah's clearance. Sanchez with his control. Was he upended? Referee says no foul. Now Detroit look to break here. The great recovery by Holstead here helps Rhode Island win the ball back.
Well, you can see the hunger and the desire by this Rhode Island team to close down and win back possession. Diop in the thick of things with Stoneman, just corralling the number 8. Diop to the sidelines, and it just shows, though, the Rhode Island team how hungry they are to win back possession and try to force the action and get a goal of their own at home.
Well, that's nudged down on this far side for Stanley. And back out for a throw into Detroit. Yamazaki. Oh, he gives it away. And J.J. Williams is going to play in Quizera. Jojea Quizera is blocked by Amu-Mensah. What a recovery. Free kick for Detroit. It was there for Rhode Island to play through. Le Rouge would not allow it to happen.
I think it unfolded so slowly that Quizera had too much time to think about it and less time to react. Great job by J.J. Williams, who's improved so much on his defensive side, right in the path of Quizera. And that first touch brought us Amu-Mensah right back in the picture. Quizera's touch has to be a little bit shorter and keep it for himself to then dink it over the keeper.
Hindsight's 20/20, but Noah Fuson was also arriving at the edge of the area, was in good position and maybe even lay off. If you're going to take a touch, you could have laid it off to him as well.
Yeah, he's dead red, though, on top of the 6-yard box. I mean, you really have to try to finish there. But
Good
that
point.
first touch, it just invites the defender and closes the angle down.
Great point.
Oh, beautiful.
Detroit with Kobe Hernandez-Foster. Lovely skill here.
I love the difference in dynamics between Foster and Williams.
First time ball into the middle. Oh, it fell for a chance there. Smith swiveled on it. after Nodarse wasn't very clean at all with his attempted clearance. And it's going to go over the top. Rhode Island are going to get a change here. Meanwhile, Dwayne Atkinson is going to come on for Aldair Sanchez. Another look at the last sequence as the Jamaican comes in.
Well, he's been in form. He scored against Miami last week in his first touch. And this was actually a pretty good chance. It sits up for him for Smith, and he just raised his head too soon. Showing your U14 coach, you remember what he said? Keep your head down. When you hear the roar of the crowd, then you look up. But Atkinson broke the record, scoring the fastest goal coming off the bench for a Rhode Island player. It was incredible against Miami.
Well, Dave's Marketplace is proud to be the official partner of Rhode Island FC. High boot there. Devin Amu-Mensah commits the foul. Dwayne Atkinson, of course, is a CONCACAF Caribbean Cup champion with Jamaican side Cavalier a few seasons back, which is more than likely.
You and I will know all too well.
Yeah, certainly put him on the radar for Cano Smith and was one of, if not the players of that tournament. You pick your head up, you look at the clock, all of a sudden 19 minutes left plus stoppage time. Hopeful ball up ahead here, but J.J. Williams could not time his run properly. Offside flag goes up.
He's done such a good job for this side over the last 2 weeks. It's taking your mind back to Louisville with the red card. He was so influential in that match. Of course, he got sent off. Then after the suspension against Miami, he comes back into the Open Cup game. He influences the game with a goal and an assist off the set pieces. And now in the thick of things again, he had a chance to maybe finish himself. He put Quizera through. You would expect Quizera to finish. J.J. Williams has done his part.
Two changes here for Detroit. Yamazaki and Jope will make way. Alex DeLue, who got the winner against the Flint City Bucks last time out. He's been excellent in the Open Cup for Detroit. He finally gets some time here in the league. And then a former Rhode Island player, Rio Hope Gund, returns to Centerville Bank Stadium in the colors of Detroit. He's also a former NYCFC 2 standout in MLS Next Pro with New York City.
Well, he's going to provide some physicality, Gund. He's that type of player, which makes Detroit's goal that much harder to achieve. Rhode Island's goal, rather.
Fuson comes back to help reestablish Rhode Island on the ball here.
Now Detroit sitting in that mid area. It's like an imaginary line that begins the second third of the field that they refuse to pass. And they're going to allow the centre-backs for Rhode Island to have the ball. But the midfielders like Holstad and Stoneman, who stepped into that spot, are going to be denied.
Quizera up ahead. Chested down by Afonso, who tried to thread the needle for Fuson, but he'd already run too far upfield. And now there's a player down for Detroit. J.C. Griggs stops the play. Oh, it's Ryan Williams as well. He's been so influential for Detroit already this season. That would be a big blow for Danny Dichio's side, who already are without quite a few big-time quality players.
Well, he actually alerted the referee to call the sideline, so he knew that his time was up. And grabbing that hamstring, you can see them, the assistant coaches already checking their list to see who's available.
One of the things that Danny Dichio said before the Open Cup game was how big the Detroit City's depth is compared to prior teams for Les Rouges. But it's going to be tested again. It was tested during the Open Cup midweek, and now with Ryan Williams potentially having to depart here, it's going to be tested again. Well, we're told that's going to be it for Ryan Williams. Hopefully, it's nothing too serious. But you mentioned, Ryan, the signs are there that it might be. Again, we'll leave it at that. Neither of us have a PhD, but he'll be replaced by Connor Rutz, who played really well midweek in the Open Cup as well against Flint City Bucks.
And talk about a utility player, a coach's dream. You can slot him in anywhere in the midfield. He can either push up in attack and try and get you a goal. Connor Rutz may not have the elegance of Ryan Williams, but certainly has the legs to cover the ground.
His timing and his positioning has led to some pretty key goals along the years with Detroit City. For Connor Rutz as the ball's back in play. It's going to be played out to the far side and bounce out of play. Well, whether you're headed to work, school, or game day, RIPTA gets you there with statewide service and easy trip planning. Transit's never been simpler. Visit RIPTA.com to plan your ride today.
Almost there.
We're going through most of the alphabet on that side of things today, Ryan. It's a good thing. Sometimes you need a reminder.
On the alphabet, or just to read all those ads?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you almost reached the end of this match too. 14 minutes to go, and I tell you what, the rope is getting a little tighter for Rhode Island. Remember the desperation, looking for that first win. They got that win against Hartford in the derby midweek. Now, at home, can they turn that to 3 points in the USL Championship? And this Detroit team, we just mentioned a few times, organized, stubborn, enough going forward.
This is going to fall for J.J. Williams, who doesn't need much time or space to make an impact. Couldn't put that one on target.
Well, the enforcer Montgomery read it all the way. He kept J.J. Williams goal side. In other words, his body between J.J. Williams and the goal. And again, Detroit snuffing out any danger.
Herrera and Detroit do have to get on with this here, unless the referee's addressing something else going on the field here. Oh, and there is a player down for Rhode Island, Grant Stoneman. Wow, that's another significant injury blow, this time for Rhode Island. We waxed lyrical already today of how important Grant Stoneman is to Rhode Island on and off the field. He's going to be replaced by one of the new Rhode Island signings, Nick Scardina.
Scardina is very good playing out on the right-hand side. He's a workhorse, but Stoneman has that brain at the back that he steps into midfield, wins challenges, distributes, and aerial defending and aerial attacking for Stoneman. That's a lot of tools you just lose on the field.
Grant Stoneman had a key injury early last season as well. It's kind of what led Conno Smith to signing Ame Mabika at that particular juncture of the regular season. Obviously, that turned out to be a great signing. Mabika had a great season, had a key penalty conversion in the playoffs as well. But Grant Stoneman is one of the heartbeats of this Rhode Island team. We really hope that's not a serious deal there.
Provides so many different qualities as a player, from the center-back region to towards the defensive midfield region of the field.
Holstead, Fuson, everyone trying to poke away at this for Rhode Island. And eventually the hosts have a throw-in on the near side. Now, 2026 season tickets are on sale now. Visit RhodeIslandFC.com to secure your seat today. You mentioned it earlier, despite the elements, it's been a good crowd here that have been making a lot of noise at Centerville Bank Stadium today, particularly around where the Ultras are off to our right.
I think they eventually filed in.
They'll be hoping that there's still a climax to come in the final 10 minutes.
Oh.
Lovely flicked on header. And the shot from Juve is saved, but the offside flag goes up. It's a moot point.
But the inventiveness was fantastic. We can't, even though it's offside, we can still enjoy the aesthetics. The little flick on, the one-time volley. USL Championship at its best.
Of course, Koke Vegas wasn't to know that the flag was going to save him there. Makes a good save. He's made a few key stops. Koke Vegas.
Two big ones shown today. As Rhode Island went forward looking for goals, he was left behind, and he came up trumps for his side.
That's a giveaway. Juve trying to find Smith here, and Smith is well covered.
That was Scardina who just came in.
Oh, and Fuson tried a little dummy there. It obviously allowed the ball to go through, but allows Detroit to get back on it. Final 10 minutes upcoming here. Game is on a knife edge.
You just know one goal is going to decide this match.
Amu Mensah harried by Williams, and Williams wins the ball back. It deflects towards Fuson. Cleared away only as far as Afonso. Afonso tries to stand up the cross looking for Williams, and Amu Mensah does just enough, touches it down for Herrera.
And look what it means for Herrera. Look how he's managing the game right now. He's slowing things down. He understands that they're on the back foot. He understands that they're the protagonists, actually the antagonist, that they want to hang on and just make Rhode Island's life miserable for the next 10 minutes.
A loose touch here by DeLu. Eventually recovers it. Juve able to dash away from Quizera and then plays it through the lines here, but Vegas was well positioned. I think it was too hot to handle for Smith either way.
Well, every time Rhode Island push forward to try and press, there's going to be space behind, and with no Grant Stoneman there, now they're going to try their best to pick apart Yao and Diop.
Here's Dwayne Atkinson, hasn't done much since coming on, finds no Darce. Holstead back out wide, Scardina tries to stand it up, faint handball appeals come in. Atkinson shepherds it out for a throw into Rhode Island.
Can someone like an Atkinson, with all that youth, who doesn't know any better, can take on someone, do something impactful, create something for somebody else? This is when you need your talented players like Alfonso and Atkinson to create chances for the players in front of them.
J.J. Williams will try via the long throw here to find somebody. Comes up a bit short. Amu Mensah heads it away. Williams sends it right back into the mix, and it's going to go out for a Rhode Island corner. Again, it's a Chick-fil-A Attleboro corner.
Well, they may not have Stoneman on the field, but they have J.J. Williams. In this very goal, in the first half against Hartford, 2 goals were scored. He nodded one down for Sanchez to volley one home, and then he scored one himself. Can the number 9 have enough pixie dust to get another goal tonight?
It will be Fuson to take the corner. Fuson whips it in. Oh, and Williams nearly climbs up there. Nudged down and saved by Herrera on the follow-up. And Herrera was fouled from behind. J.J. Williams might have been involved here. The referee says that Herrera needs some medical attention. Detroit are all pointing at J.J. Williams. Remember, he's already on a yellow card here, and J.C. Griggs has to sort this out.
Well, they're trying to get him away from the referee as fast as possible, Rhode Island. But J.J. Williams, he was hungry. Referee's taking his time, assessing the situation. As the ball was bouncing, Herrera had every right to go for it. But J.J. Williams almost sneaking behind to knot this in. Herrera gets there first, fantastic brave keeping. But look at Williams come from behind there and sticks his foot right in towards the head area of Herrera. But I think he went for the ball, and it would be really hard done to get a yellow card here.
May have actually gotten something on the ball there, J.J. Williams, but the goalkeeper, of course, had possession.
I think it may be one of those instances where Herrera is making a lot of this, take some time off the clock, manage the game.
Of course, J.J. Williams has been sent off in an opposition goalmouth once already this season.
No longer a head injury, maybe something towards the body. So Herrera does not have to come off the field.
Detroit, through Connor Rutz, are getting some more instructions here. Again, the referee, I think, is still trying to figure all of this out. Maybe even having a discussion here with J.J. Williams, just away from the action. Those two are talking it through right now, J.C. Griggs and J.J. Williams.
I think at this point, if you are Detroit,
Connor Smith's having a couple of words with the fourth official. Again, he got sent off in that Louisville game as well.
Little hesitant to actually speak his mind today. Holding back a few words.
Maybe just pondering the question.
Correct.
It looks like J.C. Griggs saw what we saw and has let that go as far as a second yellow. Lovely skill there, Fuson to Atkinson. Dwayne Atkinson tried to slither it through a few bodies there, but Carlos Herrera makes the stop.
Now the distribution cannot be down the middle of the field. It has to be towards one of the sides. His goal kick went directly to the midfield of Atkinson and company. Herrera has to punt this ball towards the sides of the field.
Detroit give it right back again. Afonso resets here for Hamady Job. Four minutes plus stoppage time left. Puizera on this near side could not keep it in. And it's a throw into Detroit. Well, looking for the perfect venue to host your group event, look no further than Centerville Bank Stadium. Now offering a variety of unique spaces to elevate your experience.
You can collect your trophy at the door, Sean.
But we could still be in for a grandstand finish here. A couple of moments as you hit right on the head, Ryan, where Detroit have kind of just given the ball right back to Rhode Island. But again, Carlos Smith's men have not been able to cash those chances in.
And so much responsibility falls on a goalkeeper's shoulders of managing the game. When you have the ball, either distribute quickly or slow things down and punt towards the sides to manage the game. Herrera, in the last 3 or 4 minutes, I'm going to say 0 stars on Yelp.
Harsh, but true.
Yeah. Somebody has to say it. 0 stars on Yelp.
It was Rio Hope Gund for Detroit, who have a chance here to still steal it at the end. But the whistle blows as Hope Gund put it back into play. Oh, Rio Hope Gund was actually in the wrong spot. Wasn't anywhere near where he should have taken it from. And again, if you're the referee, maybe you should have made that note a bit quicker there, considering that Detroit could have done that for time-wasting purposes. That's what Rhode Island will tell you. And Rio Hope Gund is taking his time over the ball again here. That's something that Cano Smith and the Rhode Island players are trying to point out to the referee.
Down the line we go, nothing in the middle of the park. So in case any touch happens, it just continues to come out to the sides. You don't want any ball coming into the middle of the field if you're Detroit. Keep it out to the wings and then stay compact in the middle.
Right into Nodarse. Hooked forward by Connor Rutz. There's nobody there for Detroit.
You don't mind that. Now you get all your players behind the ball. Again, the ball is out to the sides. Everybody's now in the middle, compact. There's nowhere for Rhode Island to go at this point.
Wasn't the best clearance in the world, but it finds Scardina. Dwayne Atkinson comes back to get it. Nodarse with a rare miscue.
Just fatigue for Nodarse. And the ball maybe have just popped up on him. But he's played a great game on that right-hand side. And he's went hammer and nail with Diouf.
We're into the 90th minute. Was that a hip check in there? Yes, it was. J.C. Griggs all over it. Free kick. Rhode Island running out of time.
Any best guesses? Time added on? Injuries?
We've had a couple of injury stoppages. It could be in that 5-6 minute maybe window.
I think you're right, especially with Herrera's injury. Ryan Williams' injury, Stoneman.
Yep. Yeah, they're right. There was 3 injury stoppages. And if the result holds, be 4 without a win for Rhode Island in the league. To start the season for Detroit, it would be their first draw of the regular season. They would get up to 7 points, and we were right on the money, Ryan. 5 added minutes left.
Right on the screw, Sean. Now look at Herrera's punt here. Does he go to the side? Right down Broadway. Well, actually, a little bit to the side.
Well, the good news from a Detroit standpoint is he put enough on it this time to elude any dangerous counterattack. But here comes Nodarse on the near side, and it is going to go out of play here. Throw into Rhode Island. It took J.C. Griggs a second there.
What a tackle by Eden Stanley. He measured it, got all of it, and now his team can now get behind the ball, sit compact, while a throw-in comes in.
Alfonso lays it off. Atkinson. Foul against Fuson. Free kick. Here is Atez Diouf for Detroit. Oh, he's missed it. Hands on heads inside the Detroit City technical area. That was a chance to swipe all 3 points in stoppage time, and Diouf cannot put it on target.
A highly successful Lucky M. Kusana once told me, as a striker who scores a lot of goals, you want to make the goalkeeper save here. You can't miss the target. Don't overthink it. Diouf looking for that corner, that millimeter just inside the far post, and he whiffed it. You have to try and make the goalkeeper save.
That felt like the chance for Detroit to win the game. Rhode Island up the other end. Atkinson is closed down again, doesn't have the space to maneuver, and it's hooked over the top here. Vegas off his line, gets ahead onto it, and clears it. Oh my goodness.
That was beautiful. All right, my vote for player of the game, Koke Vegas.
Fair enough.
2 fantastic saves just to keep it at this scoreline.
Yeah.
Your vote?
Unless someone scores, it's hard to argue with that, isn't it?
True.
Koke Vegas has been there when Rhode Island has needed him today. There's no questions about that. Tends to be a man to stand and be counted when Rhode Island is in need of leadership and performance.
And despite Rhode Island, of course, having the lion's share of possession and shots, the quality shots, the one that were on goal that tested the keeper, Koke Vegas came up trumps.
Jope loses the ball, and Detroit have a 3-on-2 here. DeLu sending it through. Can Diouf make amends here? He plays it into the middle. Quizera is there ahead of Darren Smith, and Detroit make a mess of it here in transition. Another chance to steal all 3 points.
Well, we saw Quizera on the other end give up a chance like that. Now it's Detroit's turn.
Kobe Hernandez-Foster is going to be yellow carded surely for that challenge.
And he's just trying to waste some time.
Oh, the referee hasn't brought out a yellow card for some reason. That's clearly a yellow. Well, if you see the dictionary definition of a yellow card, that was it. And J.C. Griggs should have went to his pocket. Said a good game, the referee. That's a mistake. Cleared away by Montgomery, out for a throw, and Rhode Island have a minute and change left. Karifa Yao. Hamidi Jope. It comes up short, cut out by Detroit again. And Diouf's making the run down this near side. LaRouche have some numbers in the middle. Diouf into the middle looking for Smith, and he overruns it.
Well, credit to Detroit. Diouf could have held the ball down in the corner and wasted some time. They are actually going for it.
Here come Rhode Island. Atkinson looking for help. Threads the needle for Fuson. Alfonso looking for space. Leo Alfonso blocked. Up in the air, Atkinson for Quizera. 30 seconds left. No Darce. Crossing it into the middle, looking for Williams. He's nowhere near it. Scardina not there either. Herrera will slow it down for Detroit.
Yeah, he's going to take the arrow to the ball right now. He doesn't have long, but the players are pulling wide for him. Detroit are going for it now.
Silva up ahead for Smith. Final seconds here. Connor Rutz switches it into the path of Juve. Will Detroit have the last say here? Atez Juve to the byline, into the middle. Key touch by Jope. Holstead clips it forward. He does give it back, however. Still Juve. Hernandez Foster. Juve, how much more time will the referee allow this to go? And Kobe Hernandez Foster is offside as the game ends in Pawtucket. So many missed opportunities just in stoppage time alone. A handshake between Kano Smith and Danny Dicchio as the points are shared in Pawtucket. 0-0 is the final score. 4 regular season games without a win for Rhode Island. Detroit pick up their first draw of the season. And as you look here, Rhode Island does get a clean sheet. Similar to Rhode Island keeping a clean sheet, Scandinavian Building Services keeps RIFC home, Centerville Bank Stadium clean. Both teams that will feel they could have won this.
Absolutely. I mean, there were points where there was a forward in on goal with either a tap-in or one more pass for a tap-in, and somehow both Rhode Island and Detroit squandered those chances, and they both deserve a 0-0 draw with their lack of finishing.
Well, the final score is brought to you by High Bar Physical Therapy. Today, begin your journey to feeling better, moving freely, living fully. 0-0 is the final score in Pawtucket, somehow, between Rhode Island and Detroit City. We'll come back after the break and wrap it up.
Hi, welcome. How can I help you? Sure, I can help you with that. How would you like to make the deposit today? Cash or check? Thank you for visiting Centerville Bank. Have a great day.
You may think the nicest moments happen once you've arrived at your destination. At Breeze, we think they happen all along the way.
Yeah, let me grab that for you.
That was so nice.
Whether you're kicking back in Breeze Ascent or just enjoying time together in family seating, we take creating nice moments seriously, so you're ready for the rest of the journey ahead. When it's all over, the nicest moment might just be planning your next trip. Breeze. Seriously nice.
At Ortho Rhode Island, we've built the future of orthopedic care around an important foundation, you. Our experienced surgeons and specialists offer the full spectrum of orthopedic care with leading-edge treatments and technology and a one-of-a-kind patient experience. From diagnosis to outpatient surgery, physical and occupational therapy, acute injury care, and advanced imaging, we make you the cornerstone of innovative care. To learn more or schedule an appointment, visit orthopedicsri.com.
Full time in Pawtucket, 0-0 is the final score between Rhode Island and Detroit. Both teams come away feeling they could have won it at the end of the game. Sean St. Jacques, Ryan Davis, our entire crew. Full-time highlights in this one. We start with our energy play of the game. Any particular exciting goal, tackle, or moment, exciting play by Rhode Island FC. It's your energy play of the game brought to you by Rhode Island Energy.
Well, Silver's cross almost finds the last post, but look at Koke Vegas. Acrobatic save to keep this score at 0-0.
Really important moment from Hamady Jobe to hook this clear as well. Save of the game is coming up next. Make progress towards your goals with Centerville Bank, the official bank partner of RIFC. This was a Rhode Island mistake initially. Touched by Nodarse. Rhode Island fall asleep. The good news is Koke Vegas is one of the best goalkeepers in the league.
Smith read it all the way. He started the attack. He almost finished it. But guess who's there? El Capitan, Koke Vegas, with another classy save to keep again this score at 0-0.
0-0 when we go into the second half at 0-0. Rhode Island, despite this crazy play that sees Koke Vegas bail out Rhode Island. Darren Smith gets the header on target, but Koke Vegas makes the stop along the way. There was chances galore, particularly in stoppage time. Both teams had a chance to win it. Atez Juve had 2 chances to win it for Detroit.
Tried to be too exact, didn't put it on target, paid the ultimate price.
In the end, we were kind of talking off air. with the lack of cutting edge and finishing in the final third, maybe the result was just in the end. But we jump ahead. Detroit had a 3-on-2 here. Could have walked this in.
Yeah, Smith's pass. I mean, it really was supposed to be in stride to tuck it home, but the pass was too far ahead, and it completely took the air out of the ball and allowed Rhode Island to come back.
We didn't show it, but hands on heads on the Detroit technical area on both of those chances. They thought they were going to win it. Thrilling end to this one. We got some of the spills and thrills. What we didn't get was a definitive goal-scoring moment in the end, and both teams in the end drop points here in Pawtucket. A thriller ends 0-0 here at Centerville Bank Stadium. For Ryan Davis and her entire crew, Sean St. Jacques saying so long. Both teams had a chance to claim all 3 points at the end. Both wonder what could have been. 0-0 is the final score in Rhode Island.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.